Hi YouTube, Plano Man here. Giving the third gen Taco a little love this week. Driving it around, gonna get it cleaned out real well. My son's out of town, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to drive it. After 4 months straight of driving my fourth gen, definitely some differences that I'll point out. But right now I'm just gonna take it to the car wash, clean it real well, do the undercarriage. I mean, it's not really bad inside, but I'm gonna kind of wipe it down for him. Do a couple other things, but just right off the bat, the first thing I notice is the seating position. I've heard when I had this truck actually, you know, you would hear from folks that were really tall, over six feet, 6'2", 6'4", that the seating position was different, not great, not comfortable. In fact, they have those seat jackers, and I definitely can feel a difference in the seating position. I feel like I'm kind of leaning forward a little bit, and I'm not sure if it's just the way my son has the seat set. Of course, we all know the Tacoma does not have memory seats, so I'm not going to move the seat around. I can deal with it. We all hate it when somebody moves our seat, right? So as we come up now, gonna merge onto this tollway here and see how we're doing on the old V6. Not bad, not bad. Keep in mind this one has had the Overland torque tune. It's routinely in the second position. The ECT button is mapped to the third position, so it's a little bit of a sport mode if we select that. But overall, just a little bit different seating position. I noticed the suspension's a little different too. This one is set, and this is a 2023, so you wouldn't expect it to be that much different. But I definitely notice the ride is a little bit different from my fourth gen to this one. So anyway, stay tuned for more differences that I've noticed as a fourth gen driver over the third gen. But overall, still a great looking truck, still works great. And of course, we all know that a lot of folks are fans of the V6 engine. Not so much the transmission, but the engine, without question, is a strong workhorse. So stay tuned, and we'll be talking soon. So a couple things that are not need to have, but definitely miss. So you see the instrument panel in the third gen. The fourth gen, it's all digital. And so each one of these, the speedometer, the tachometer, you can change the information inside each of those to display what you want. And then there's 3 different sets, so you can have up to 6 different combinations of information. And so you see on this one here, I'm displaying the speed and the miles to empty. You can see the trip A is on. The one thing I do miss is the speed limit is posted right there in the new one, in the fourth gen. So you see what speed it is, and it's pretty accurate. I mean, you can pass a speed limit sign and it'll change right when you pass it. I don't know if it's reading it or if it's just as them put in there. That's number one thing that I just noticed. I was driving on the tollway, and I set the cruise control to 70, and I'm like, what's the speed limit here? What's the speed limit here? And of course, in the fourth gen, you would know what the speed limit is because it would be posted there. So that, along with when you come to a stop, the hold, that's almost like I need to have that from now on. I find myself sitting there with my foot on the brake, and more than once I've creeped ever so slightly forward because I'm not used to having to brake or put my foot on the brake with the hold on. So, but like I mentioned, those are nice to have. Certainly nothing wrong with this third gen Great truck. I did wash it up. I'll show it here in a second when I get out here. I'm here at Home Depot returning something. But just a couple things I've noticed. Not big deals. Certainly not things that are, game stoppers by any means, but just things you get used to after having them for a while. Also, the steering is a little bit more Armstrong steering-ish, if you will. It's a lot easier to steer the new 4th gen. So I'm not sure. It's not a big difference again, but I did want to show you guys something. What I'm returning here at Home Depot. Do not get one of these. I'm a big Ryobi tool guy, do-it-yourselfer. Well, obviously, I know they're not contract grade, but I saw this and I thought, oh, I'll get this to help dry the truck off when I wash it. Man, this thing couldn't even go continuously for more than like 3 minutes without shutting off. And I know it's hot here. This is Texas, but do not get one of these. Don't waste your money. It was 99 bucks because I have plenty of those batteries, but it's going back today because it just didn't cut it. But anyway, you can see the truck cleans up very nicely as we get ready to give you some more feedback on the 3rd gen. Stay tuned. Okay, here's one thing that I do not have on the 4th gen. It's this little button right here. If you have the wireless charger, this has an on-off switch. And the 4th gen doesn't have it, or at least I haven't been able to find it. I am not somebody who charges wirelessly. The other thing is that you can see this has the dongle in place to do Apple CarPlay. It is wired. For those of you that like Apple CarPlay and it's a must, the wireless is fantastic. I've used it a bit. I mean, I can take it or leave it. I don't use it all the time. And it starts always popping up on my phone, so sometimes I disable it. But this is wired in the 3rd gen, if you even have it at all. The later models did have it. The 4th gen is wireless, and it does work well. I have a Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it works just fine. But I love that little off button for the wireless charger. I don't wireless charge. That's not the way I charge my phone. I think it generates heat, which is not great for the battery anyway, so I don't use that. But that's something that's better on the 3rd gen for sure. So anyway, just thought I'd point that out. Stay tuned. Okay, Plano Man back with you and the 3rd gen. Got it all cleaned up inside and out. Great truck. Just driving it for a couple days here. Doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles of the 4th gen that I have. I have a premium model, off-road. But man, this gets the job done. And it's just a great little truck. I can tell why, number one, folks love it so much, the 3rd gen. But it did have some shortcomings that are addressed, in my opinion, in the 4th gen. But one of the easy things about it, and I can understand why it became the class leader, is it fits in the garage easily. We put all our stuff in the garage all the time because we live in North Texas, and you can have a storm at any time with hail and so on and so forth. And I hate it when folks move here and they leave their cars outside and they get that first lesson very quickly. That garages in North Texas are for putting your cars in. You can see I have some junk laying out, but I could pretty quickly move all this stuff and get cars in here. I've had 3 cars in here before, no problem. And so if I had a full-size pickup truck, I don't know that I could do that. I've heard folks say, oh, the 4th gen is so expensive, you could get a full-size pickup truck for that price. Well, I don't want a full-size pickup truck. I'd rather have a mid-size Tacoma with all the bells and whistles and pay for it because I'm at that point in my life where that's what I want. Not everybody's like that, and I haven't always been like that. You can tell this used to be my truck. It was manufactured 9/22. It is a 23 model, so it's an early 23 model. So it's coming up on 2 years now. It's got 21.1 on it, and it's a great, dependable little truck. And so what I'm big on is getting the value out of it. we traded a 2019 SR5 4x4, which was my son's truck before I gave him this one, and they gave me $28,500 on it, which was the Kelly Blue Book. I mean, they didn't even blink. Now, granted, it was a Toyota dealership, and so that may have helped. And in fact, my sales guy texted me about a week after I made the deal and drove home. So I took delivery of my 4th gen on February 16th, and it sold within a week. He told me it was gone. So that's the value that you have in a Toyota. And if you're never going to extract the value out of it, why would you pay the premium? I get it. You know, go buy a Frontier or something else that they're discounting heavily right now. I looked at the Frontier, great truck, but I was concerned that they were willing to discount it so much. I was like, what's the value going to be if I ever trade this? And I've never kept a car for more than 5 years, so I routinely don't do that. I'll have a new truck before 5 years is up, so I want to extract the value out of that, and that's what this does. So if you're someone that's not going to keep it, so when people tell me the V6 is going to outlast the turbo, I don't care. The turbo is going to last long enough for me in 5 years. But overall, no frills, just competent. You can see this one's been blacked out a lot. I don't know why they put chrome in vehicles. You can tell this has been blacked out. The rings here, the ring here, the door handles have been blacked out. And just recently, in fact, on this cleanup, I added some vinyl tape. I don't know if you can see it at the bottom of the door. It blends pretty nicely. But this area right here gets kicked quite a bit when you're getting out. It had been scuffed up, so I cleaned it up real well and put this little chrome delete vinyl on there that I had. I'm not sure how long this will last, but I also had put this seal protector on a while back as well. So if you're going to keep it, I don't see that you need to spend extra for a Toyota, or if you can get a good deal on a pre-owned one. I bought this one pre-owned, and so was able to get a good deal, and it's still worth, I think they've gone up in price. So overall, you're protected from a Toyota that's naturally aspirated, has the V6. You're going to do well on the trade. If you keep it, it's going to be reliable forever. You know, the 200,000, 300,000 mile club, as long as you take care of it. But that's not really why I bought my 4th gen. I wasn't going to do that. And so a couple things I liked about the 4th gen was the new engine. It is a turbo. I don't plan to keep it more than 5 years, so it's definitely going to last that long. I'm not worried about, what's going on with the Tundra. It's unfortunate. But I don't own a Tundra. I own a Tacoma. And so overall, I'm not worried about that. I love the 8-speed transmission. And I, as a tech guy, I like the tech in it. I like the fact that I have the wireless CarPlay, where this one has the wired. I like having the larger display. I didn't really talk about the music. Music's fine. I mean, it's a truck. I'm not an audiophile. It's, that one has in fact, if anything, I hate the fact that the back storage behind this back seat here is taken up by that huge subwoofer, which doesn't really do much, but that's me. But overall, just a solid truck. Reminded me why it's the class leader. I mean, it just does what it's supposed to do. We all have our little criticisms of it, but overall, I think depending on what you want to do, whether you want a 3rd gen or a 4th gen, again, I had great resale value when I traded in a 2019. I hope to get great resale value out of my 24 when I trade it in, and we'll see how it goes. So Saturday will be 4 months that I have my 4th gen. I haven't had no issues. I haven't had the grill malfunction. I haven't had anything. I better knock on some wood over here. But it's just been a fantastic little, truck, which is what I expected. I typically, knocking on wood here, I typically don't have trouble with my vehicles. And so overall, I think 3rd gen, 4th gen, we're fortunate enough to have both in our family. And driving this one for the past 2 days, it reminded me of how much I liked it and why I wanted a Tacoma. Always have. I think they're just great to have. Even if you have a second car that you drive, it's always great to have a truck if you need one. But overall, you can't go wrong either way. I know a lot of folks are passionate about whether it's a 4th gen Third gen, I know a lot of folks think the fourth gens are too expensive. I don't really see it as that way. They're in line with everything else that's gone up in price. I saw an article this week that said that since 2019, housing prices have gone up 26%. Think about that. And your house costs a lot more than a truck does, typically. And it's gone up 26%. Yeah, it's about right. It's about right. And so a lot of folks accusing, I can promise you this, it doesn't cost less money to make the new fourth gen Tacoma than, everyone thinks that just because they moved it to Mexico that it's dirt cheap to make it there. It's not. It's not. That's not how it works. It definitely costs more to make a fourth gen Tacoma than it does a third gen, with all the stuff they put in there. Just the engine, the transmission, the rear disc brakes, the suspension, and the Safety Sense 3 right there, there's $10,000 worth of improvements without question. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more upcoming, but just thought I'd give a throwback to the third gen lovers and to say I really have nothing bad to say about it. It's a great truck, and I've enjoyed driving it again for the last couple days. So back to the fourth gen here later today. Talk to everyone soon. This is Plano Man out. Okay, Plano Man back with you. Going to close out the video. And back in my fourth gen. I don't know if it's because it's new, but it rides a little bit higher. It rides a little bit smoother. Handles a little bit better. I'm not sure if it's because it's a new truck, even though our third gen's not even 2 years old yet. It definitely has been improved in some areas. But let's say that you don't want that. You don't want to pay the cost. I understand completely. Do yourself a favor. If you want to get that third gen, or you have a third gen and you're going to keep it until the wheels fall off, do yourself a favor if you haven't already. Get the Overland torque tune. It really makes a difference. I had forgotten how much of a difference it made until I've been driving that third gen around. But it's fine. It remaps the engine and the transmission together, and it does a great job from a stoplight. No question about it. Not as sluggish as it used to be, for sure. So I can't remember what I paid. Maybe $350, $400, somewhere in there. Not more than that. It's certainly worth the mod. Lots of folks go out and get a truck, and the first thing they want to do is put tires on it. This is a lot less than that, and it will impact the engine and the transmission without a doubt. So I did want to just mention Toyota and the Tundra. Certainly a black eye right now for the trucks at Toyota. I've never owned a Tundra. Like I mentioned, I don't want a full-size truck. But Toyota needs to do right by the customer. They need to stand by them. And whatever the remedy is going to be, it needs to transfer to a different owner so that some of these folks can get these trucks traded in on different stuff. And I can understand the anxiety. They're not going to replace an engine on a truck that there's no evidence that something's going on. If you have the problem, they'll fix it. And that needs to be extended through multiple owners to whatever time period they're gonna allow it. I have to assume that if you hit a certain amount of mileage, that you're probably not going to have the problem with the engine. But I'm not an engineer. I don't know for sure. But they need to stand by the customer, and that will go a long way into rebuilding the reliability and the brand that we've come to expect from Toyota over the years. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy your third gen, enjoy your fourth gen, whichever it may be. I've talked to a number of folks via YouTube lately that have fourth gens coming in. You're going to love them, take care of them, and I think you'll be very satisfied with the changes that they've made in it. So anyway, take care, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.